What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's late night stream where he is reacting to June the King's documentary. That's right, and I believe this is the last part 5, where our boy Phil digs into, of course, the bank leaks, the Side Scrollers podcast, and some other garbage. Who knows? But this specific video right here, we're going to focus, of course, on the bank leaks. And my. You guys know that Phil already admitted to lying about WWE champions. And, of course, WWE champions go hand in hand with the bank leaks. So if Phil lied about WWE champions, of course, he must have lied about the bank leaks. That's right. And we got about a 12, 13-minute clip here segment where Phil is just coping over the bank leaks, and again retconning his story yet again. The man has retconned the bank leak story 1,000 times, and he's come up with a new version of what really happened with the bank leaks, which he's not really calling the bank leaks. He's calling it identity theft. So let's watch this clip. It's about 13. Let's see, it's about 12 or 13 minutes long. I'm actually going to speed it up. So give me 1 second here. Let me put this a little bit on faster speed because, you know, listening to too much Phil sometimes can give you a headache. So let's get into it.
Not enough, and they decide to take matters into their own hands.
It's never good enough for these crazy conspiracy theorist nut jobs who want to hurt me, and now they've taken it too far. So thank you, Haseo, for 18 months as a member. This has been an interesting doc so far. I agree. Guys, please consider contributing. This is a normal, night stream for me, and I'm looking to hit the tips goal to keep the King streak alive. I will still be here till the end of the doc, so we got a ways to go, but please consider contributing. Let's
That's right.
And keep it
gotta
going.
get that begging.
Just literally saying, okay, here's conspiracies about Phil.
Gotta get
It's
that
another thing,
begging.
committing federal crimes against me.
Yes, so someone just ran.
Okay, so this is gonna be interesting because this is something that I've talked about recently. All right, I need to talk about it in this react. I've already addressed it, and well, let's play through it, and then I'm gonna tell you all about it.
Randomly posted that they went ahead and accessed his bank leaks on using Bank of America, using their telephone, and reverse engineering his social security number to go ahead and figure out how to access. And Bank of America has an option where you can go ahead and repeat the last 10 transactions. He did that about 500 times.
This is to the point of now major repercussions, and I hope people understand that. Anyone who's talking about this, not knowing fully what they're saying is true or not, thank you, Dark Maggot, for 17 months as a member. I appreciate that. Guess what? You're part of the problem, and you're part of the issue, and you are going to be held accountable too. It's just that simple. You're part of it now. You're actually passing around stuff that should not be passed around, and you're going to be in trouble just as well. So.
Oh yeah, I love that video. I remember being on stream and Phil making these veiled threats to people about if you distribute this information, you're just as culpable as the person that committed identity theft. Why would anyone be culpable of fake information? You just said right now, and you've said for the last 2 or 3 years, that the bank leaks didn't occur, that's fraudulent, is fake, that's not your account. So how exactly is anyone going to get in trouble for passing around fake information, Phil? How? Can you explain that? And the other thing too, Phil, is that if it was fake, as you claim it is, why did you make such a big stink of it? Why did you come on stream the next day on your podcast and spent the whole podcast and your first playthrough talking about how you what happened to you with the identity theft? And it was the other interesting thing that I'm going to point out here is the identity theft happened at the same exact day the bank leaks occur. So he was off. It was his day off. The bank leaks occur. He sends his message on Twitter saying, "Oh yeah, something bad happened to me. Blah blah blah. I'll talk about it on the next day." The next day he comes on with this clickbait podcast saying he was identity theft. Someone stole thousands and thousands of dollars from his account. That's what he said. Now, Phil, if the bank leaks weren't true, why'd you make a big stink of it? Why did you even mention that someone hacked or took money out of your account? And the funny thing is, you're going to hear Phil actually retcon the story yet again. Another fucking retcon. He's going to talk about how it really wasn't somebody actually stealing money from him. It was apparently companies getting extra payments. Makes no sense. 0 sense. But of course, all of Phil's stories make no sense. And he has to constantly change the story, change the narrative, because when people point out how ridiculous he sounds like I'm doing, how I'm pointing out, wait a minute, what? You just said when people point out the inconsistency, like he actually went on stream and started threatening people, saying that if you distribute this fake information, right, apparently because it's fake, you're going to be held liable. You're going to be you're going to be held liable as the person that actually did the fake hacking. Is that what you're saying, Phil? And again, he just has to retcon things. It's just so like keeping up with him. And people ask, well, why do you do daily videos or whatever? Because his story continuously changes. Every single day, it's something different with this fucking dude. And he changes his story. And you sit there and you say, well, wait a minute. You were talking about this yesterday and you said something completely different. Why are you changing it, right? And that's the problem here, Phil. And you don't get that. Well, you know what? Let me give you some credit. I think you do get that. And that's why you have to constantly change your lies and come up with new lies, because you can easily poke holes through them. I mean, come on, Phil. Yeah, at least wait a week and think about a plausible excuse. You know, give it some time. Don't just have a knee-jerk reaction and come up with a lie and then start retconning it slowly.
This event would be known as the bank leaks. Charted, graphed, and described to the best of the user's abilities, the information from the bank leaks was added to the tips tracker as a separate page. Phil's supposed transactions from March 3rd, 2020 to September 17th, 2021, the day the user supposedly accessed Phil's account, are now archived for everyone to see it.
Over the last week, it has come to my attention and my knowledge finally that for the record, everything here that I'm saying that he's quoting has nothing to do with these bank leaks. I'm serious. Everything that I'm saying is out of context. Everyone assumed that when I was talking about this on streams, it was about these bank leaks. It had nothing to do with these bank leaks whatsoever. I'm going to tell you the full story, the real story, because I can. But let's go. I have been subject to the crime of identity theft. A federal crime, by the way. I got a notification via email about someone messing around in one of my accounts, which then led me to research it. This is not the bank leaks, okay? This is something else. And find out that,
You see what I'm saying? This relates to the bank leaks, Phil, because you came out with this convoluted story the very next day where the bank leaks occurred. This wasn't a week later or the week before or a month later. It was one day after the bank leaks became public on Kiwi Farms is when you came out and you said, oh, I'm a victim of identity theft. That's the reason why it's tied together, Phil. Do you not understand that? Do you not understand why people tie your bank leaks to identity theft? So when people are talking about the bank leaks, they referenced it. But again, this is Phil trying to confuse the argument. Like, no. When I spoke to June the King, or I this clip you hear of me, I wasn't talking about the bank leaks because, of course, they were fake. I was talking about identity theft. But again, Phil, the two happen at the same exact time. Let's keep going.
You know, this was happening.
At the same time, Phil gets a notification that someone has stolen his identity right at the same time the bank leaks come out and possibly trigger a failsafe. But due to Phil's own web lies, Phil is walking a very, very thin tightrope. The reason becomes clear why Phil cannot right out admit that someone accessed his bank account. On several occasions, there are transactions that are only labeled as PayPal. Some only labeled Apple iTunes. They happen with such frequency, back to back to back, that it immediately becomes suspicious. And more importantly, they are all the exact same amounts. Several transactions of $11, $16.51, and $110.09. If you deduct the Washington sales tax from...
Hold on, my eyes are burning. I have to turn my air conditioner down. It's too cold in here. My eyes are starting to burn real bad now. Got it on too high here. Sorry for the interruption. I had to do it. My eyes are really starting to burn bad. Okay.
These, you get a more rounded number. The $110.09 becomes $99.99, and the $11 becomes $9.99. This can be easily correlated with the packages available on WWE Champions. These in the pie charts are labeled as microtransactions and make up around 1/4 in his spendings. In these 18 months, Phil spent around $44,000 on microtransactions. These are not the only purchases, which shows his dysfunctional nature. In September 2020 alone, the month the vest streak ended, he spent $258 on alcohol. These are all reasons why Phil cannot state his bank account was accessed, because it would simultaneously prove that he is an alcoholic with a gambling addiction.
Which is, I mean, so ridiculous. I've already told people I'm an alcoholic, you know. But anyway, again, it's just so silly. They're like, so we can't say this because it would reveal this, this, and this. Well, I've already revealed to you that I play WWE Champions. I've already revealed to you that I spent a lot of money on the game previous. I've already told you the full story about that last night. But we're going to go and we're going to talk about this very soon. Let's keep going until the end of the segment, and then I'm going to tell you the true story of what's going on here.
And
Oh my lord. Okay, all right. I have to stop it right here. Notice one thing that he didn't do. He didn't refute those charges. He didn't say, no, that's ridiculous. I would never spend $258 in a month. on alcohol? No, that's crazy. Yes, I drunk, but I would never spend $258. He didn't refute the figure at all. He didn't refute any of these figures, which makes you believe that the bank leaks were accurate. I already know. I believe the bank leaks are real, so I don't need any convincing from Phil either way. I know what the story is. The gentleman that got his information was able to call Bank of America and was able to sit there with a phone teller, automated phone teller, and he documented all of the transactions for 18 months. That's exactly what happened, Phil. But again, you hear him sit here and he just doesn't contradict these figures at all. He doesn't, which I find very interesting, because the first thing I would do is if someone said, "Oh, we got to do these bank leaks," and they post them, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get that information and refute whether the charges were correct or not. That would be my first line of defense. I would say, "No, I got my papers right here. I didn't spend anything on alcohol for the month of October," and even show it. I'd be like, "Yeah, look, here you go. You can see for the month of October, I didn't spend anything on any alcohol whatsoever." That would be the quickest way of doing it, Phil. But look at his face, just a nervousness, and he's like, "Oh, okay. I hope my lie comes off convincing." That's what this guy is doing here. Now, I'm gonna jump a little bit because it's just, if you want to watch the raw footage of June the King talking about this, go ahead, or you can go to Raw Phil stream. I'm gonna jump a little bit here because Phil keeps interrupting and trying to. Oh, I went too far. Sorry. Okay, so he stops. All right, is this it right here? Hold on a second. Let me see.
And that is many emergency streams were only for the sake of raising money for microtransactions. Another layer of this is that Phil, if the bank leaks were fake, could easily disprove them. But the correlation between the bank leaks and his purchases are so tight, it seems he is unable to do so.
Wait. If the bank leaks were fake, he could easily disprove them. How? How could I easily disprove them? The only way to prove that a bank leak is fake would be to show you my real bank account and say, "See, it's not the same one." Which then people could easily say, "Oh, that's fake. That's not really yours. You photoshopped it. You got it from somewhere else." How could I possibly ever prove that these bank leaks were fake? That doesn't make sense at all. There's actually no way to prove that the bank leaks are real or fake, because the only way to do that would be to show you my real information, which puts me at risk, and I'm never going to show you that, right? Never. So that doesn't make any sense to me at all, what he just said.
Alrighty, so I wanted to stop it there on that lie right there. That's okay. If you guys watched the Side Scrollers interview yesterday with DSP, what was the main point Phil harped on? Phil harped on Craig for not giving him the opportunity to prove himself related to the WWE champions. Phil yesterday said, "No one knows this, but I'm going to say this right now. I was going to send Craig an email showing him all my information and explain to him what I explained to my viewers the night before, that I sold the account or whatever. But he didn't allow me to do that because he didn't check his email for 24 hours. That was Phil's narrative yesterday and his excuse, right? Okay. How many times has Phil said over and over again that he will never show anyone his WWE account information? It doesn't matter who it is. He's not going to show it because it's going to put his family in danger or put himself at risk. But yet we have him here yesterday saying he was going to release that information to Craig a year ago. Again, you see these fucking contradictions, Phil? Do you see the contradictions? Okay. So if you're willing to give Craig an email with your information to prove what you said was true, why couldn't you talk with June the King and say, "June the King, hey, I don't want my information out there at the bank leaks. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to do a Discord call with me, and I want to go through my bank. I want to go through my bank statements for 1 month. 1 month of that bank leak." So the bank leaks were 18 months. Just say, "I want to, I'll let you pick 1 month for that year, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my statement and we're going to go through it and we're going to compare it to the spreadsheet. And you tell me whether they're accurate or not." Right? That's what you could have done, Phil. You could have reached out to June. I am 1,000% sure that if you would have made June sign a document or something basically saying that he will not disclose any of that information, whether it's verbally or whatever, I'm pretty sure June would do that. June seems like a stand-up dude. You vouch for him all the time, so I don't see why June wouldn't do that. And I'm sure he would sign on the dotted line and make a promise to you that he would never divulge any of that information, right? You could have met with him on Discord, right? Because you said you were willing to give Craig your email, send him an email with your WWE Champions information, right? So that blows that bullshit lie that you'll never share any information because your family's at risk or whatever nonsense you say, right? And I'm pretty sure you respect June more than you do Craig, and you trust June more than you do Craig. So why wouldn't you contact June and say, June, I really want to clear my name. This has been going on for 3 years. It's bullshit. I need you to promise me, or I need you to sign something saying you won't disclose any of my information, but that we will sit through a month of my transactions, right? And you will vouch for me. You will vouch for me. I'm positive, I'm 100% positive June would have done that. And I'm actually going to send June a tweet asking him, would he have agreed to that after this video? So right there, Phil, that's how you would have addressed this and improved it. That's how you prove what you're saying is true. And you could have met with June. You guys could have did a Discord call. He would have reviewed your information and said, yep, you're right, Phil. When I make this documentary, I'm going to say I met with Phil, right? He showed me proof that these bank leaks are incorrect, so they're wrong. And that way, Phil, you would have fucking redeemed yourself. You would have been able to point to the documentary and say, see, I told you I want an apology. You know what? And your boy Duty would have came out and apologized to you and say, you know what? The bank leaks were wrong. My apologies. I was wrong. I will stop talking about the bank leaks going forward. But again, you didn't do that. Why? Because the bank leaks are true. That's what it is, Phil. I mean, and you make no sense, man. It sometimes get a little overwhelming trying to categorize your lies. That's why I make so many videos on you, because you can always go back and see all your contradictions. So again, to recap, you're willing to give Craig sensitive information that can hurt your family, but you're not willing to do that to June. You're not willing to show him a spreadsheet or a screenshot of your financial data for a month and let June vouch for you. At that, I'm pretty sure that you could have told June, you can't divulge any of this. Even if you did see me spend a little bit on something frivolous or whatever, you can't talk about it. I just want you to look at my document so that you can vouch that what I said is true. And I'm 100% sure that June the King would have done that. But again, can't do that. Got to protect the horse and the cat.
If anything, he sent the bank statement to Craig. Exactly. Mr. Reliable. Send him to Craig, right? No, that's the...
There you go. Thank you. I'm glad I just stopped it at that fucking clip right there, because someone just said, alluded to Craig and how he was willing to send Craig the WWE Champions information that for years he's talked about. Lawyers told me not to talk about it. He's willing to do that with Craig, but yet not willing to share any information with June the King, a man who he has praised for years, right? He's not willing to share any information with June the King to prove that the bank leaks were wrong.
The opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things that they're getting me with, right? The things that they get me with are things that, we got him because we're going to say something that we know the only way at all that he can disprove what we're saying is to open up information that will just hurt him further if we know it. So let's see if he's dumb enough to do it. That's exactly what's been going on in these situations, right? The WWE Champions thing. Man, I really hope one day he opens up his phone, he shows us all his shit, and he's screwed, right? Man, he bank leaks. Yeah, we'll say his bank stuff leaked, and then he'll have to show his real account, and then we got him again, right? That's exactly what they want me to do. That's the plan. It's either we besmirch him by saying the negative thing, or we tries to disprove it, we get the real information, and then we fuck him there anyway, right?
Idiot. God, you're an idiot. Did you not just forget your fucking interview with Craig? Where you admitted, or you talked about your master plan, where last year you were going to send him a fucking email with all your information against the wishes of your lawyer, by the way. Did you not fucking say that like couple hours before this fucking stream, Phil? Again, just the utter contradiction in this guy. He just lies. He lies so much, and the problem, Phil, when you lie, Phil, the lie is always worse than the cover-up. The lie is always worse, or the actual crime. The cover-up is always worse than the actual crime. It just always is. And what you're noticing, and Phil won't acknowledge this, is that the problem your detractors have is the lying. They don't give a shit what you're fucking doing. I don't care that you're spending $150,000 on WWE champions. What I hate is that you're lying about it, and then you're lying to your viewers saying you need money to pay your fucking bills when that money's really just going to DoorDash, Gin, and WWE champions.
That's exactly what this is, okay? So, all right, let's continue because we're almost done with the segment, and then I'll tell you the true story.
So what he has done was just ignore it altogether.
Okay. I'm sorry. What he does here is he tells the true story. Hold on a second. I think this is it right here, where again he retcons the bank leaks yet again.
True. There's no risk at me saying this is also true. This is a horrible federal crime that happened to me, correct? But I'm gonna tell you right now, this isn't true. Okay. Here's what actually happened. One day, I wake up in the morning and I look in my email and I got a notification. And the notification is, your account has been overdrawn. Now, to my knowledge, I don't even have any money coming out of my bank account. All right? So this is not good. I'm like, what is going on? So I look at my bank account and I see not one, but multiple payments are being withdrawn from my bank account, okay? From accounts that are legit accounts that I have, all right? I have these accounts. They're real accounts. It's not like someone found a way in there and stole the money. These are real accounts that have authorization that, you know, they can take money out of my bank account every month for various purposes. But out of nowhere, they are taking giant chunks of my money out of my bank account without my authorization. So just imagine this hypothetical, because this is not actually what it was. But let's say there's a utility you have every month, and you pay a certain amount every month. It's on auto pay. All of a sudden, that utility company takes $4,000 out of your bank account without your authorization. What the what was going on, right? So, whoa. And it wasn't one, it was multiple companies. And it all hit at once. So this was all done like on the same day. Okay? And I'm like, how is this possible? All right? So basically, I contacted everyone. I contacted the companies. I contacted my bank account. I contacted everything. Come to find out, someone had socially engineered a couple companies, which I had accounts with. All right? The only real reason, likely, that people knew I had these accounts is either number one, because I'd already previously been doxxed, so everyone knew where I lived. So you kind of know where I am. You'll know, oh, this is a company that Phil may have an account with. This is a company Phil may have an account with because he kind of lives in this. You know exactly where he lives. I almost suspect maybe perhaps some of it might have come out during the bankruptcy. I don't know. Like, it could have been information that was published in the bankruptcy documents. I can't confirm or deny that. It's just a guess. Like, how would you know that I have accounts with certain companies unless, you know, it was published in the bankruptcy, right? So anyway, all this money is coming out and going to these things without my authorization. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm overdrawn because two payments I don't owe. I don't owe these payments to these companies yet, but they're just taking all my money. So I talked to the companies, and essentially what they say to me is, so you're telling us you didn't call in and you didn't have this big conversation about this and that with the person on the line and tell them all this basic authorization information? Like, no, not at all. It wasn't me. So what happened was, with the information that's been doxed about me, so you're talking about my name, my phone numbers, not one, two phone numbers that have been doxed, my address, right? Basic info about me. These people were able to call in and actually impersonate me with these companies and socially engineer. It's not like, oh, they fooled an automated system. They socially engineered people on the phone to foolishly let these people have access to my account and make payments, okay? Now, I actually have no idea if they had access to the accounts themselves or if they just had some dummy do a payment over the phone, okay? But they did it regardless. So, number one, all right, one of the companies I refused to do business with further. Their behavior was actually completely unsatisfactory in the matter. I considered suing them, but I just didn't have the money to do it, so I just let it go, all right? The other company was very, very good working with me about it, and basically we have now stuff in place. All the companies I work with, I have security codes, I have two-factor authorizations, every company, so that way no one could just impersonate me and try to fuck around with my stuff, right? I mean, that's pretty messed up that they could do that, so I had to put all this extra levels of security on top of everything, all right? Now, in the meantime, while all this was happening, I did call my bank account, company, my bank, and I explained, and they said, listen, you have everything on like auto. You need to basically get a new account because you have no idea. Maybe they're going to get access to other accounts you don't suspect, and they're going to try to take more money. So what they do is they just flag the account and shut it down. So my bank account got flagged and shut down. And what ended up happening was I had no access to any money for a while. All right. And now I have all these things set up that are auto pay, my mortgage, my car, my back taxes with the government, my tax attorney and other attorneys who I'm paying monthly. I'm doing all this stuff, right? And now I can't pay them because all.
All right, I was gonna let him ramble on with this bullshit lie, but that makes literally no fucking sense, Phil. Your bank just told you create a new account, which you can actually do over the phone. Okay, you can't do it over the phone. You go into a fucking branch and literally takes 20 minutes to transfer your account information to a new account. And all they would simply do is just create a new account number. Then all you would need to do is you would just need to change your auto pay information on your accounts. That's all you would do, Phil. I've actually had to change my account before. I've changed my account. I made it a different account. When I started doing YouTube, I created actually a separate account, right? And it's more of a business account that's a high interest earning account because I didn't tap into that money. That literally took me 5 minutes to set up, Phil, over the phone. So the fact that your bank identified that this could potentially be fraudulent, that's the first thing they would have done, and you would have been able to make payments with no problem. At the very most, it would have taken you maybe an hour to get this shit resolved. And this nonsense about your payments being blocked and you couldn't send because your money was all tied up makes zero sense, Phil. Zero fucking sense. The other thing, too, is that you stated that one company didn't want to give you the money back because of whatever. They were being, and you thought about suing them. Dude, all you had to do was contact your bank. Your bank would do an investigation, and then they would put the money back into your account. They would withdraw that money out of that account and put it back into your account, regardless of whether you owed it or not. If you didn't authorize a payment, your bank cannot submit a transaction. Those are just federal fucking guidelines. So the fact that Phil wants to come here and make you believe that, one of them were being difficult and I threatened to sue them, so I just let it go. I let them keep my money. Really, Phil? Zero fucking sense here, Phil. Zeros. Again, Phil, you can't think of a more plausible lie, something a little bit more plausible. And again, I'm pointing back to the fact that all of this happened the same day the bank leaks, the same exact day the bank leaks got published. Not a day before, not a day after, not a week after, not a month later. The same fucking day, Phil. So again, you're so fucking reactionary to all this shit because you knew the bank leaks were going to hurt you, especially because it did. Because if you remember those streams, for about 2 weeks, his dents didn't tip. They were pissed off with him. And he barely made like $30 a day. He was getting like a 1 minute man tip and like one other tip, and that was it. And he actually had to go on stream and fucking beg and cry and talk about how he doesn't play WWE Champions. That's all a lie. I need money to pay my bills. And then the tips kept rolling back in. So you knew it was going to hurt you. So that's why you reacted to it and came up with this cockamamie bullshit story that someone committed identity theft and stole thousands and thousands of dollars from your account. How much did Phil say? $9,000. How in the world, Phil? And then the thing is, he just admitted that there was no money in that account. How in the world did your bank transfer $9,000 to various companies? Most banks, what they do is whenever I'll give you an example. If I spend more than $1,500 in a day, my account stops. It'll get flagged and it'll get stopped. Now, if it's one transaction, I'll get a notification and it'll go through. But if I'm literally shit's coming out of my bank account, I think it's about $1,500. That shit gets stopped. And I get a notification, and then I have to call my bank in and say, yeah, it's good, keep going, or no, that's fraudulent, someone's stealing my money. So the mere fact that you stated that $9,000 got taken out of a bank account where there was no money in it, because you just said right now there was no money in it, that makes no fucking sense, Phil. No one took any money out of your account. What happened was someone got your information, they contacted the bank, right? And they were able to get your transaction history for 18 months. And that transaction history showed that you spent $44,000 on microtransactions. And you spent probably another $6,000 on alcohol. So there you go, Phil. He keeps on trying to retcon this shit again and say that, oh no, the bank leaks were fake, they weren't true. dude, you got busted. And the mere fact that you didn't have enough, the mere fact that you wouldn't share your information with June, the king, because it makes you vulnerable and it puts your horse and your cat in danger, is bullshit. Because earlier in the day, you talked to Craig and you said a year ago you were willing to share your WWE Champions information with Craig. So again, contradictions here, Phil. Contradictions that make no fucking sense. And let's not forget, folks, WWE Champions and the bank leaks, his lawyer told him not to talk about it. And here he is openly talking about it. So that was a lie as well. See what happens here, Phil? When you lie about everything, no one believes you. No one believes you. So, you know, the more you talk about it, the more your story changes and the more you're going to get slammed. So I recommend, Phil, you just shut up about it and not talk about it. Of course, detractors will keep talking about it and mocking you. But again, it's up to you not to react to your detractors. But you can't do that because you're a locale. You're as bad as Cyrax, you're as bad as Wings, and you're as bad as Boogie. That's why, Phil, you are king of the locale pimp. Anyway, that's all I have. If you want to watch the rest of it, it's out on Raw Phil's stream. Enjoy, folks. Peace out.